Morning, good morning. I flew back from Vietnam just to do this video for you. We're in day 5 of my out of the office on vacation, day 2 of the MOCA Journal. I know this is all getting rather numerical, but that's the way it is. So I got a lot of things printed, a lot of journaling, and I just did these in Procreate and put paint splotches everywhere, and then went back into what other program is that called? Fonto, Phonto, and added a bunch of texts to the paint blobs that were done in Procreate. Fonto has the free version has great fonts, and I think this one is called Genesue. For some reason, I just like it. It works for me. So I did a lot of my journaling in that, and underneath I had some of the pictures from the Aquatic Archaeologist Journal, and then I did a couple that were different quilts that I have made or people made on our trip or things that I want to make. And I use that as a foundation underneath the printing for like text boxes or journaling blocks or whatever. But here I'm just talking about my travel fiasco the first day, all about rental cars. If you do not have your return flight information, which for some reason I deleted it and needed to wait for my email to come in from the airline the day before I left. The rental car companies want a credit card. At least that's how it operates in the United States. Mine is a debit card. They wanted a debit/credit card. They wanted a separate debit or separate credit card because I could not prove when I was leaving. I had already paid for the rental car, mind you. It was just a major fiasco. So I ended up not using that rental car. I went to a different rental car company across the aisle. They rented me a car at an exorbitant price, and they apologized upside down on one side the other at the price because they saw what I was paying, what I had already paid for another car, but they understood the situation I was in. He says, well, we can work around it with Gray. They had to do a credit check on me, which was fine. I'm like, go ahead. I don't care. But it was crazy. So that started off the drive to the little town where we go to where Hamilton is, which is like 45 minutes to an hour away northeast of Kansas City in complete and utter farm country. But I drove through all these beautiful farm areas on some back roads and tiny highways, and that kind of calmed me down by the time I got to this quilt retreat. So that was fine. But it was a fiasco. So that's what most of my journaling was about in there. P. P.S. It happened to me again in Sacramento. It just is ridiculous. So I ended up paying for 4 rental cars when I only used 2. Anyhow, all because I accidentally deleted everything. I don't know what I was doing with. Anyhow, it is what it is. It's over with. It's done. I'm still trying to get refunds, but I probably never will. But anyhow, so I have tip-ins upon tip-ins upon tip-ins in this thing. And FYI, I add another one in here. Um, and there's no pictures except for a few here that I've already printed because I have not printed them yet. And anyhow, so I thought we had quite a day here today. And it didn't even happen until like 2 o'clock. It's almost 7 o'clock now, but we had an active shooter in this teeny tiny little suburb of Columbia that we're in. It was just crazy, and it happened to be in my sister's office parking lot, and then her neighborhood is close. It backs up as the crow flies to this office parking lot. I mean, it was insane. Dogs and police and helicopters everywhere, and my sister was freaked out, rightly so. I think she overreacted, but I probably would have done the same in the situation. So she came here to our house. Then we had to take our dog to the vet, so she stayed here. The dog almost ate the veterinarian when he touched his hip. It was just, you know, it's been a day. So anyhow, I did the same kind of journaling and paint splotches and on quilts, things that I have made, things that I want to make. I had pictures of sewing scissors and the outside of the buildings in Hamilton. And I um I don't completely finish this spread because I printed the pictures later. So tomorrow when I get back from the Philippines again, not the Philippines, where am I going? Vietnam. Um, you'll see these tomorrow in the journaling, in the spread. But I managed to get the entire quilt retreat on these pages. It was a feat, but I kind of am really enjoying doing these little mini like clusters and weaving them around the page and doing my journaling around all that. I really have enjoyed this process immensely in just the 2 days I've been working on it. Um, this is my fifth quilt retreat in Missouri. Um, and we skipped 1 year because of COVID. So it would have been six, but it has been so much fun. And those little birds are the mascot of the store, so I printed those out. Those are the two quilts I want to make and am making right there, the little patterns for them. And I took the letterhead off of a receipt and the QRL code also, and some of the ephemera from the retreat that we had. It was so much fun. It's just there's absolutely no entertainment value in this town unless you're a quilter. So if you're not a quilter, it's just a town for quilters. Um, this family took over this town. It was empty buildings, and they put all these different fabric shops in each little store, each little deserted storefront. Like all the flower fabric is in one store, all the boutiques are in one store. Just the solids are in another store. I mean, it's great. Flower fabric is in one store. It's great. They have a theater now. They have a museum. They have the retreat center, which is a 2-story building. There's a little Amish grocery store 2 doors down. There's a Dollar General 2 doors down. If you need that kind of stuff, which that's where I got my Motrin for my back that was acting up. It's just, it's a great concept. And this lady started these videos just as YouTube was starting to kind of explode in 2008. And her son suggested she teach people how to quilt on YouTube because she was a good quilter and sewer. And it just was at the right time, at the right place, the right personality. And her son is a genius, and she went with it. She does not own the company. Her son and daughter own the company, and she just is an employee now. But it's a great story. They've been featured on several different TV shows and things like that nationwide. It's fantastic. But anyhow, so I was trying to find my pictures when I realized finally that I really hadn't printed any but a few of my quilt things that I did. So I was still digging at this point for them. But and that's just kind of what I talked about in all my journaling. My favorite quilt, one of the ladies that comes is from Australia, who discovered us on Instagram. And she's become, she's a super quilter and a super person and super fast. She can do all kinds of stuff in the time that we do, one or two, or me, half of a quilt. But she's a traveling nurse, and she has a good friend that's in Canada that used to travel with her. And so they try to get together when she comes this far north, and they may have met in Kansas City and spent a couple days together. And then she came on over to the quilt retreat, and then she'll fly home. She stayed for a month. She usually stays for a month, visiting people and catching up with other people along the way, so that it makes, apparently the flights from Australia to here are ridiculous, which I can't imagine. The flights from here to JFK are ridiculous right now. But, and the active shooter has been arrested, but we still don't know. I still don't know the story of what was going on, but they heard shooting in the high school, because the high school and my sister's office building kind of butt up against each other, as the crow flies. And then her neighborhood is not far as the crow flies. And so they locked down the high school, but it was in the middle of the afternoon. And it was close to the high school, so they started chasing somebody, and there were dogs everywhere, and It was crazy, but apparently they have arrested somebody. They came back into her neighborhood to tell people that they had arrested people, and it's all okay. So I don't know what happened, but anyhow, so yes, I added another tip in. Yes, I did. This has been so fun, but I needed to be able to incorporate a couple more places where I know I'm going to have pictures, which again tomorrow I'll put those in. So I was trying to figure out where I could do all this. But it was just a great time this year. We really had a good we have the same group every time, but it was so much fun. So to see all this again a month later has been so much fun. I've been drinking chocolate milk, which is probably not the what I. Oh, we did. We got to go to two tapings of her TV show, YouTube show, not TV, but YouTube. Which that picture there is one of them. Um, it was great fun, great fun, great fun, and I'm so thrilled that I got to fit this all in one place, all in one spread, gigantic spread. I love how this turned out. Um, I might do the same thing that happens with Van Gogh too. So, but there's another flight in between that, which more fiasco. So probably tomorrow's going to be more airline complaining um, as I get ready to go on an airplane in 8 days. But oh well. Anyhow, thanks for hanging out with me. Everything is good here now. It was a crazy day, but we're all good. And this will have been 2 weeks ago by the time you hear this, because I'm filming way ahead while I'm in Vietnam. So, um, in fact, I think I hear the plane calling me now to get back on the plane to go back over. So I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.